So I'm Simon Schwall. I was born here in Luxembourg. I studied in a business school, and I studied a career in consulting. So far, so good, right? My career took a serious turn when I decided to fly to the other end of the world and start a micro insurance service in where else than Papua New Guinea. So this is me and my team in Papua New Guinea. Working alongside them, I gained a real new perspective on financial inclusion, and I'm happy to share this with you today. Okay. After a few years in Papua New Guinea, I worked also in Fiji, in Vanuatu, in Egypt, in Senegal, and now as the founder of OKO in Mali and Uganda. And I've been exposed firsthand to the impact that simple financial services could have on the lives of their users. So we talked a lot about financial inclusion today. I wanted to make sure that it is clear what is the problem and what is the problem with financial exclusion. So to do so, let me introduce you to Ismail Diakita. He's the head of a cooperative in Mali. He owns land, and he could grow a lot more if he could access a loan to buy fertilizers and quality seeds. But when asked about his inability to access loans, this is what he says. I'll quote him. "I don't feel like I'm a full right citizen in my country. When I go to the counter, when a civil servant goes to the counter and asks for a loan, he gets one. When one of my seasonal workers go and ask for a loan, he gets one. But when the farmer goes, he's denied. You have no guarantee, you have no secured income, you have no insurance, we cannot issue a loan for you." Ismaila is not alone. Out of 5 billion adults in the world, 1.7 billion have no bank account. 2 billion have informal jobs. And if we zoom on Africa, it's more than half of the population that is unbanked, and 2 out of 3 people who live in the informal economy. They are cab drivers, they are housemates, they are street sellers, they are farmers, and so on. And not having basic financial services undermines their livelihood. Someone steals your savings, and you're left without nothing. The rain fails to come, and you lose all your revenues. An event forces you to leave your village, and you lose the assets that you thought you could rely on for your retirement. But I'm not here to talk so much about the problem. I'm not even here to talk about the positive social impact we could have by solving this issue. Today, I will talk about cold, hard cash. What is the business opportunity in solving this problem? So we could look at the market size. And usually you can look at how many potential customers you can have and what is their purchasing power. Traditionally, it has been easiest to go after the wealthy few. And banks have been really good at doing this. But there is just an as big opportunity in serving the modest masses. People who don't have much to spend, but they are the majority of the world population. Another thing is that here on the left, we're looking at convenience. On the right, it's about a necessity. And I don't remember much about my time in business school, but I remember one thing is that when you spot a huge need, you identified a big business opportunity. The problem so far is that there's something blocking the access to this opportunity, and that's scalability. How do you bring this service to millions of new customers at a low marginal cost? The technology is solving this issue. So I'll tell you today about 4 companies that are leveraging advances in technology to unlock this business opportunity, including OKO. So they leverage technology to provide loan, insurance, investment, and payment services to populations that were previously unserved or underserved. Let's talk about credit first. Tala is a startup that provides loans to people who were denied loans by financial institutions. They have no financial identity, they have no records. But Tala uses their mobile phone usage, their call patterns, their social media activity to understand them better and find out if they are creditworthy or not. They issue loans to people who were denied loans by other institutions, and despite that, their repayment rate is over 90%. And they started in Kenya. They are now growing to the Philippines and to India, becoming a global player. Let's move to investment. Some of you here on the room or online must have benefited from their investment in shares of tech companies or in cryptocurrencies. Well, this opportunity is not available to people who don't have bank accounts. Ijala is changing that. They offer people to invest in fractions of shares stored on the blockchain. Now you know what the blockchain is, even better. So people can obtain fractions of shares that are securely stored and also access cryptocurrencies. They can invest from as low as 7.5 euros. They're growing really fast and they achieve their goals because half of the investments made on the platform are less than $10. Now let's move to the sexy industry that I work in, insurance. Isn't it absurd that here we can insure everything? We can insure our smartwatch, we can insure our pets, we can insure our train tickets. But people who are the most vulnerable have no access to financial safety nets. So what we do is we provide affordable crop insurance to farmers in emerging markets. They can access it with their phones, no internet required, no smartphone required. And once they registered and paid, we monitor the weather in the location of their farm. If we see, and we use satellite data, if we see that there was insufficient rain or excessive rain, farmers automatically receive an indemnity on their phone. They don't need to make a claim, they don't need to fill in a form, they don't need to move to the city. This way of verifying claims wouldn't have been possible a decade ago. But now with the improvements of Earth observation and with the fast-growing penetration of mobile payments, we've been able, from last year to this year, to multiply our revenue by 13. And finally, I cannot leave you without talking about Wave, after the huge investments they received just last week. Wave is a mobile wallet with very low transaction costs. Mobile payments have been skyrocketing for the past 10 years in most emerging markets. But now with the ubiquity of smartphones, companies like Wave are able to turn smartphone users into their agents. And with lower rates and a better user interface, they can fight with people like Western Union, MoneyGram, Orange Money, and beat them at their own game. They just raised $200 million for a seed round, and that's only 3 years after they launched, making it the first unicorn in Francophone Africa. The beauty is that these fintech innovations work in synergy. So let's think about Ismail Diakite again. He obtained an insurance from OKO, which lowered his risk of non-repayment for a loan. So then he went and asked for a loan, obtained a loan. He used it to buy seeds and fertilizers, invest in his activity, and he grew his revenue, which triggers more financial transactions with his mobile wallet. And it can lead to generating extra income that he can then potentially invest to diversify his source of income. This is not Ismail Diakite, but this is how you feel when you are finally financially included. This is a farmer that received a compensation from us last year because his field was flooded. We paid in total $70,000 to farmers in Mali last year. So to answer the questions that I started with, yes, there is a business opportunity in serving the underserved. And the opportunity has to be taken now, because this market is only going to grow bigger. I'll give you 2 figures to support this claim. The population growth in North America from today to 2050 is going to be 56 million additional people. In sub-Saharan Africa, it's going to be 1 billion people who are all going to have the same needs, same basic needs. And today, it's only 1 out of 4 African people who can access internet. By 2025 alone, it's going to be 40%. These two combined is going to create a market that grows faster than anything you know. I talked a lot here about Africa. This is largely replicable to Latin America and Southeast Asia. So what's next? What can you do with this information? Well, if you're an investor, you need to get educated about this market. Learn about the players, learn about the trends, and learn about the new services. Not because it's good karma, also because it's good karma, but because you don't want to miss the next opportunity to invest early in the next company like Wave or OKO. You don't want to miss that chance. If you provide professional services, if you're an auditor, an accountant, a tax advisor, help founders. There are amazing entrepreneurs in this field, and we all need support to navigate the legislation, the tax implications, the regulation in this market. And by helping us, you're going to build an expertise that is going to make you more relevant in the coming years. If you know that, or if you're that, you can also contribute by buying an umbrella. We have a partnership with umbi.co, and for every umbrella that is bought on umbi.co, we provide insurance to a farming family in Mali. And we talked about necessity today. I think an umbrella in Luxembourg is something that could be useful. So that's it for me. You can connect with us on LinkedIn, on Facebook. You can snap this to subscribe to our newsletter. And I hope it was useful and that you're going to join us in providing the underserved with the power to build their own futures. Thank you.